Hello and welcome to our Global Education Virtual Expo Fair. I'm joined by my colleague Joe Paley, who will be telling us all about the University of South Wales. We are Global Education. We are an education agency and we work directly with the University of South Wales to help you with your entire application process from start to finish. We'll assist you with your application, your visa, your accommodation, and everything in between. So I'm going to leave it up to Joe. He'll be sharing a presentation with us and telling us everything that we need to know about this fantastic institution. If you have any questions, please do put them in the comment section and we'll get to them at the end of this presentation. Joe, thank you for joining me. I'm going to leave it all up to you now.
Thank you so much, and good to be with everybody today, and also those who join us at a later stage. I know this is going up on the Global Education website after today's session. So whether you're watching live or watching this kind of retrospectively, no problem, we can get in touch and answer your questions at any time. Let me just share my screen now. Okay, can you see my screen? Is that okay? Perfect, thank you. Yeah, so my name's Joe Paley. I'm the International Development Manager at University of South Wales. I work in West Africa, Southern Africa, and Bangladesh. So I work over quite a kind of diverse part of the world, actually, and get to meet many great students. And we have seen a record number of international students come to the university in the last year, especially from Africa, especially from Nigeria. We've seen a record number of students, but we've also seen a good number of students from South Africa, Zimbabwe, Botswana, parts of Southern Africa as well. This is my email address here. Please do note that down if you want to get in touch after today's session. No worries at all. I am pretty quick on turnaround time. We'll always give you a response within 24 hours if it's the working week. And just before I get started, I want to thank Global Education for organising this event today. If you applied from Zimbabwe, kind of South Africa, any part of Southern Africa, Global Education are the #1 agency in the region. We work with a number of agents in Southern Africa. Like most universities, probably work with 3 or 4 agents in the region. Global are the most experienced, they're the most reliable, and it can make a big difference with which agent you choose. I can say for certain that there's lots of agents in the education sector that we don't want to work with for good reason. And there's some that we do work with that are good quality. And then there's the best quality, and that's Global Education are in that category. Very, very strong agency. So just
thank you, Sarah. Thank you. And I can confirm on the turnaround time. It's so easy to get in touch with SW, so thank you.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I think we know in the education sector a lot of the work is about speed. You want to get feedback ASAP, and that's not a problem at all for me. Some universities it is. Coming up today, I'm going to spend about 20 minutes going over a number of things on here, including university location, courses we offer, fees, popular courses, requirements, how we support students, and a little bit about what Wales looks like. So this is our main campus. This is a place called Treforest. Don't worry if you cannot remember that name by the end. At this stage, not too important. But we are based in the Cardiff region of Wales. Just to let you know, in actual fact, I will just briefly go off the presentation a second, and just to give you a bit of context, let's have a look. Say if I did a map of the UK. See what I'll do on here actually, just to give a bit of context. So here's the UK here, and you can see there's Cardiff there. This is where we are based, about 2 hours from London over here, the capital of the UK. We're about 40 minutes from Bristol, another major city here in the UK, and up here, you've got Birmingham, probably about 2 hours away, and you've got the north of England, which is about 3 hours away, Liverpool, Manchester. So we're right down by here, right down by the coast. So we've got the sea down by here, right next to the sea, actually, very, very close to it. And yeah, we've got London all the way over here. So we're a very good location for most major cities in the UK. Let me just open this again now, just to give you a bit of context. But this is our main campus. This is in Cardiff City Centre, about 10 minutes outside of Cardiff City Centre, I should say. Most of our students will study on this campus here. We've also got another campus. This is Newport, also about 10 minutes outside of Cardiff city centre. And we've got the Cardiff campus. Now, just a quick footnote. Most students that come to study with us will not study at this campus. The reason for that is the courses. This is a creative industries campus. So you're looking at animation, design, journalism, fashion. There might be some people interested in these courses. And in the UK, we're one of the best destinations for these courses. We have lots of British students that come to South Wales and study these very, very strong degrees. Internationally, there doesn't seem to be as much demand. We often see our interest in STEM courses, business, computing, those types of degrees, rather than your traditional creative courses. But students do have the ability to live in the capital city. It's only about 10 minutes away from our other campuses by train, so it's very, very easy to get to. Cardiff is a great place for sport, nightlife, entertainment, diversity. It's a major, major UK city. You get exactly what you expect. Fantastic place to live and work. I went to university in Cardiff years ago. That's how I ended up staying and working for USW. 2 hours away from London by train. Nice and easy. This is the main campus then. So I mentioned it's called Treforest. The name of the town is Pontypridd. The name of the campus is Treforest. And it's an all-in-one campus. So you've got your university accommodation up here if you want to live in halls. On the right-hand side, you've got your housing. And over here, you've got all your lecture halls. Or this takes up the majority of campus. Students' union, gymnasium, and you can't see it, but in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a train station that takes you into Cardiff in about 15 minutes, nice and easy. Majority of students will either live on accommodation, housing, or they'll live in the Cardiff city centre. But as mentioned, this is where the majority of our courses are taught. So you're looking at your business programs, computing, engineering, public health, international security and risk, law, humanities, psychology, chiropractic. We do see some interesting chiropractic from South Africa in particular, all taught on this campus here. So why do students look to come to USW in the first place? First of all, we're a large university, about 26,000 students. That is one of the largest student populations in the entire UK. We've also got intakes in February and September, so we're always offering start dates. The February intake is traditionally a little bit more postgraduate, but there are some undergraduate programs. And we had 500 programs in total for September, so it's a huge amount on offer. We're a career-focused university. What we mean by that is there's some universities in the UK, in particular the Russell Group. So if you're looking at University of Birmingham, for example, they'll be a very research-intensive university. Other universities in the UK take a slightly different approach. We're one of those universities. It's about the career, it's about the industry. It's about ensuring that when you come to USW, you've got the skills and experience to go to the next level when you graduate. The last thing we want is students doing degrees and they leave university and they're struggling to translate that into the jobs market. That's the last thing we want. That's why we're a career-focused university. Also, we've got placements built into a lot of courses, accreditations, linking into this kind of career-focused mentality of the university. And we have some good scholarships. So every student who applies, who gets an offer, will get a partial scholarship. And I will talk about that more shortly. If you're a fan of sport, even if you don't want to study a sports course, and there's a lot of sports courses, but even if you don't want to study a sports course, you can access the facilities. This is only one of 3 or 4 indoor 4G pitches in the entire UK, built at USW on campus for various sports. We've got many floodlit pitches outside as well, badminton courts, basketball courts, gymnasiums. As you can see, one of the best sporting venues in the UK. There's 6 badminton courts, indoor full-size 3G pitch. Yeah, the only one in Wales and England, 11 outside pitches. In this gym about 2 years ago, we had the South African rugby team. They happened to be over playing Wales in a match at the Millennium Stadium. And I happened to be down at I've only ever visited the sports park a few times, and I happened to be down there for the first time, and they were in there kind of pumping some iron in the gym, and they're there because it's one of the state-of-the-art gyms in Wales. In terms of the location, Cardiff is particularly popular for being a very affordable place to live. I think in 2019, this is RBS Bank, one of the biggest banks in the UK. We are seeing that Cardiff is a very, very good value for money option. London, as you probably know this, incredibly expensive place to live, very, very expensive. Has about 3 times the cost of any other city in the UK, really. It's about 3 times the cost of Cardiff anyway. And we've got Bristol down the road. Bristol's probably not far off London. It's also a very expensive place to live. But Cardiff, for some reason, don't know why, has always managed to maintain relatively modest living costs. Cardiff University, South Wales and Cardiff Metropolitan all benefit from this. It's nothing to do with the university. It's just a bit of luck that your money will go a lot further. Quality of living here is very high. In terms of looking at the degrees that we offer here, just before we go into them, if you're looking at undergraduate, our fees are about 13,500, but you will get a 2,500 scholarship included in your offer letter. So you're looking at about 11,500. For postgraduate, most of the degrees are around about 14,500. Again, you'll get 2,500 scholarship. So you're looking at about just shy of £12,000 a year for your degree. And the MBA Global is 15,500 approximately. The reason for that is because it's a 2-year degree. So it's actually a really, really good deal, that one. Okay, I'll just go briefly through some of the very, very popular courses that we have here within each school, very briefly. MBA Global, I mentioned that just then. It's a 2-year business course. It's a 2-year version of an MBA, essentially. But in the second year, you have a placement for 6 to 10, I think it's up to 8 months, up to 8 months overall. That can be internal or external at a company, but you only pay one fee for this course. So you only pay 15,300, and that covers the entire 2 years. So you're realistically paying about £8,000 a year, which is an amazing deal. And you also get to have some work experience in the second year to really bolster your CV. MSc Management's a very popular course. We accept 3rd class for this as well. So if you have got a 3rd class in your undergrad and you're looking to get onto a master's program in the UK, it can be quite hard. Nevertheless, you can get onto this program here. Forensic Audit and Accounting, we've seen very high demand from certain governments, Botswana in particular. Governments have put a lot of money into this, especially across Africa, into a kind of upskilling their departments in this area of finance. So we've seen a lot of demand here. If you have a HND, we have lots of business top-ups, so you can go straight into 3rd year of a degree. And we have some good courses in logistics and supply chain at undergraduate and masters, as well as project management and a really popular degree, which is quite new in digital marketing. Engineering, we are by default an aeronautical engineering university. So we offer some really good courses in this regard. I think we're top 5 in the UK for aeronautical engineering, so very well ranked and accredited on many of our courses. But we also have some courses in aviation management, as well as mechanical engineering and civil engineering, as well as automotive. Within health, we do see a lot of demand from Africa, particularly Nigeria and Ghana, but we do get some students from Zimbabwe and South Africa for courses within health. Msc Public Health is the most popular course within the health school, and it's the most popular course we've seen from Africa. We get most students who join us from the region of Africa are coming for this course here. We need a 2-2 at undergraduate and about 12 months of work experience within health to be applicable to this course. We've also got some good courses at undergraduate too, health and social care management, and we've got health and public service management at masters. This is more a management degree, a business degree, than it is a public health science degree. Also have some really good courses in education. We have lots of teachers, police officers, so we have lecturers coming for the MA education degree, masters in education, and clinical psychology. If you've got an undergraduate in psychology and you want to do a clinical degree, not many of these in the UK. We offer a very, very popular course in this. I'll touch very briefly on these courses here, the likes of animation, directing, visual effects. We have, an incredible alumni in this area. We've got many students who've gone on to win Academy Awards, Oscars, BAFTAs, who have done these degrees at undergraduate and postgraduate with us. I don't want to focus too much on it because if you've got an interest in this regard, follow up with me because we could talk all day about the extent of these courses, but I do appreciate that the vast majority of students applying from Southern Africa are not looking for creative industries courses. So I'd rather have that discussion afterwards, if that's okay. But we've also got some really strong specialist courses in other areas. Data science, we know this is a massive, massive industry now. Tons of jobs in understanding how to manage big data. It's a very high demand skill, especially in the business sector at the moment. Sports coaching and performance, sports health and exercise science. Again, as one of the leading sports universities in the UK, we have a lot of students who enroll on these courses. Haven't split these two up for some reason, but renewable energy and security and risk management. These are two of the newer degrees. Again, these have been built to align with industry demand for skills in this area. Same applies to artificial intelligence at undergraduate and at master's level. We have seen, if you go back maybe 5-10 years ago, computer science at undergraduate and masters was the big course, was the big course. Students who wanted to go into the sector with a background in computing and the required skills to succeed in industry. We have seen that siphon off a little bit now to artificial intelligence. We know it's a juggernaut of an industry that's emerging, and we're seeing students now who want to get ahead of the curve and get a background in this particular branch of computer science. Construction project management and safety, health and environmental management have also been very popular degrees within the engineering school from Africa. To ensure that we're there for you from the start of your degree, we've got a health centre, a chaplaincy, a wellbeing service, a disability and dyslexia service, a student mentoring service. It's one of the reasons why we rank so well for student satisfaction. I think we're 26th in the UK and 10th overall for postgraduate student satisfaction. We do put an awful lot into ensuring that we take care of you, the student, for the minute you join us. In actual fact, as soon as you come into the UK, we can arrange to pick you up in a taxi if you arrive at Cardiff International. And if you arrive at London, we can ensure that you get on the right bus to your accommodation. Most students from Africa will travel to Heathrow because you can get a direct flight. If you're coming to Cardiff, it is easier in a way because it's a short distance to campus, but you will have to transfer at usually Paris or Amsterdam. Or, yeah, I think Paris or Amsterdam are the two main ones. The other one is Doha. You could fly to Doha and transfer to Doha to Cardiff, but sometimes easier to fly to London and get on a bus. And yeah, I mentioned earlier that we've got a lot of industry partners at the university, the likes of Amazon, PwC, Qatar Airways, BBC, kind of fit in with that image and of being a very kind of robust industry university. Part-time work is available no matter what university you go to. You can work up to 20 hours a week during term time. I believe it's unlimited during vacation periods, but during term time, it's 20 hours a week. Most important thing, bulking up your CV is something that a lot of students want to do, but you've got to ensure that you get the work-study balance. That's the most important thing for everyone. To help you with jobs, we've got a partnership with an organisation called Student Circus. And they have some excellent work placements, internships on their platform that the university pays to sign up for this, but it's a jobs portal for international students specifically. Post-study work visa, this has obviously been in place for about a year in the UK now. This launched on the 1st of July last year. This means that any student who graduates after this date will be able to apply for the route. So it requires a new visa application. And this is a big reason for coming to the UK at the moment, is once you finish your degree, the ability to work afterwards. You will have to apply within the UK, a new visa route after your course is finished. £700 it costs, with a health charge of £624 per year. So it is over £1,000. It's pricey, but it's 2 years of work that you will get in the UK as a result of it. I don't know why that slide maybe should have been slightly earlier, but and just on a final note, one of the things I want to touch on is accommodation. So we know Cardiff's the most affordable city in the UK for students. So while off-campus accommodation tends to be a lot cheaper at most cities in the UK, so you're looking at housing, it always is slightly cheaper. On campus is still pretty affordable due to the unique costs of the Cardiff region. Accommodation is always modern, clean, and safe. And while we'll offer you the option of either on campus or off campus, ultimately what matters is understanding what your needs are. If you're traveling with family, a house is going to be a lot better for you than on campus accommodation. But if you're traveling by yourself, on campus accommodation would always be the default for me. It's on campus, it's a short work, it's very safe, it's very clean. It depends on what you're looking for. Are you coming with family? Are you coming alone? It really depends case by case. These are a few pictures of on-campus accommodation here, actually. We've got a double bed, a desk, a shared kitchen area. You'll have your own bathroom, and this is what it looks like outside. Modern building. Many universities have the same kind of design across the UK. I'm sure you've seen pictures of this in many other prospectuses as well. They look quite similar. And if you're looking for a house, they tend to be walking distance from campus, a little bit cheaper again. They are older. A lot of these houses are 80 to 100 years old, but they're very well renovated inside. They look modern, and they're always clean and safe. And just to finish with a few pictures of Wales here. So Wales is a beautiful place to live. It is outside of the capital city of Cardiff, which is a robust, exciting, fast-moving city. You have got a lot of natural landscapes, so a lot of mountains in Wales. You've got the Millennium Stadium here, which is now called the Principality Stadium, the home of Welsh rugby. Lots of historical buildings. This is City Hall in the Cardiff city centre. Caerphilly Castle is the second biggest castle in Europe. Kind of a strange statistic that there's more castles per square mile in Wales than any country in the world. So you will see a lot of castles in Wales, but this is it's one of the biggest in the world, second biggest in Europe. Lots of shopping centres. So I was here actually last Saturday in that shop on the end, John Lewis in there doing a bit of shopping. Lots of shopping centres in South Wales, so you've always got a bit of time to chill out. It's a Millennium Stadium on match day. I think this is obviously for a rugby match here. It's a great place to go. I always recommend students go here and at least see one, even if you're not into rugby, see one rugby match from the Millennium Stadium on match day. About 75,000 tickets on sale. And this is the Wales Millennium Centre then. This is kind of another new landmark in the UK. It's a venue for the arts, for kind of stand-up comedians, plays, theatre. It's a fabulous place, a fabulous landmark to get, even if you're not into theatre, well worth going down there and getting a picture. It really is. I mean, this isn't concept art. This is an actual picture. It does really look like that. It's fabulous. So, just to sum up, Cardiff, most affordable city in the UK. Every student gets a £2,500 scholarship with an offer. 500 plus courses in total, kind of a nice combination of some very traditional courses, I mean, the likes of business management and public health and engineering, with a lot of specialist courses as well. This is my email address here. And just one thing, so I know one thing I haven't answered is, let me just have a look now. If you go to our website here and you go to internet, so southwales.ac.uk, and you go to international up here, one thing you might ask is entry requirements. So if you go to your country, and let's say I start with Zimbabwe as an example, if you go down here to entry requirements, you will get an undergraduate entry requirement here, and you will get your postgraduate here. Essentially, We mentioned here A levels, IB curriculum, postgraduate diplomas, and we also mentioned the English as well. So you're looking at GCSE, O-level English, maybe an IELTS score of 6.0 with 5.5. We do recognize quite a few qualifications, and Global will have an understanding of what we accept and what we don't accept. Traditionally, the rule is at postgraduate, if you're looking at a master's degree, that we're looking for a 2-2. So you're looking at a second class lower or above. We can accept that for postgraduate degrees. And yeah, the same applies for South Africa as well. If you go on the entry requirements here, undergraduate, we mentioned the A level, the IB, senior certificate, 3 Bs and 2 Cs. There's quite a few that we accept on here. And the same thing applies for postgraduate. Senior certificate with a grade C or higher in English, we can accept in lieu of IELTS, so no IELTS needed for that. And if you're looking at the actual main qualification, we mentioned the T4 diploma that we can accept. And applicants with a 4-year degree, 2-2 or higher, we can accept, all on those pages there. I thought I'd just mention that before it wasn't in the presentation, but I thought it'd be easier just to have a look on the country page and point you in the right direction. But yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Joe. It seems like everything about USW is just inviting students to come over. Competitive fee reductions, such a broad variety of courses, and I love the focus on graduate employment or employability skills. That's the whole purpose of going to study.
Yeah, absolutely.
To find opportunities to work, to grow yourself in your career going forward. Just going through the entry requirements there, I noted obviously for students who want to do a postgrad at USW, they need to have done the 4-year undergrad here in South Africa. And that's because in South Africa, we have the additional year for the honors, whereas where you guys are, it's a complete 3-year degree inclusive of the honors.
Yeah.
So I wanted to actually ask, I was quite interested in the business top-ups. Because sometimes, we have students who finish their undergrad and they want to specialize or just take a bit of a different route into postgrad. So I think the business top-ups are quite interesting. And then the next one, again, the clinical psychology, very popular. But we often find that because it is such a competitive course, students, they get very shy when approaching us to apply for that course. So do you have any specific entry requirements for the clinical psych masters?
Yeah, let me just share my screen again. I'll go through both. Can you see my screen again now?
Yeah, there we go.
Perfect. Just on both those points there, first point, if I just make my screen a bit larger, if you go to international and you go down to here, you can actually look at all of our top-up degrees. We've put them all on one page to make it nice and easier. And there's a lot within the business school. So you're looking at banking and finance, international business, business management. So 3rd-year entry of a degree. On your degree certificate, it will not say top-up at the end. We've also got them within the computer science school, applied computing, engineering, and we've even got our first ever one now in the education school, which is early years education top-up, brand new course for September 2020. For all of these courses, we're looking for a HND. If you've got an undergraduate degree and you're looking to kind of transfer to 3rd year of a degree, we can consider on a case-by-case basis. But this is the page where you can see it here, nice and easy.
That's fantastic because students are always looking for something to do in between their masters, and as an alternative to the pre-masters, these top-ups are lovely. So thank you for that.
No worries. Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, once you do a top-up, if you do want to get a master's, then you can get a £6,000 scholarship if you go from top-up to master's, which essentially means your course fee would be around about £7,000. It'd be very, very low. Very low. So that's why a lot of students tend to do the top-up, then the master's, because they get this massive scholarship.
It's a great deal.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a good deal. And I think it's one of the reasons why we get a lot of top-up students, actually. And in regards to clinical, if you go down to clinical, these course pages are not the easiest. Just to let you know, when you go on these, you'll always have the undergraduate first. and then you'll have the postgraduate at the bottom. So clinical psychology, this is our most popular course within the psychology school by a mile. We do have a high demand for this course, and because of the nature of it, not too many clinical psychology courses in the UK. And yes, we have some good placements integrated into this course too. You can get all of the modules online here. What you're going to be, don't worry about the part-time bit, but you're doing full-time, you can get all this info here. My advice is this. So if we go to entry requirements, if I go down here, this is the thing. You need a minimum of a 2-2 honours degree in psychology or a psychology major or joint honours. So we have students who apply with a business degree. Unfortunately, that's not going to work. It has to be a psychology background. We're not normally this picky with many courses, but with psychology we are. So we do need a psychology background for this course.
Okay, great. Because I think sometimes because it is such a competitive course, there might be this misconception that students need to have registered with the local psychology board, get some sort of registration, accreditation, and then subsequently apply for the course. So thank you for that. Definitely some popular options here in South Africa. And that brings me to my next question. With all of the courses that USW offers, which course do you think is maybe under-noticed or something that students could look at more? Because I mean, there's obviously STEM always, accounting, engineering, medicine, you know, those kinds of subjects kind of take the limelight, but I think the way that education is progressing, institutions are offering something so niched and so different for students who don't necessarily fall into that category that can be overlooked. So is there anything that comes into mind?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm looking at courses that go under the radar, that may be relatively new courses that haven't, we know that the engineering courses and the business courses are very well known. We know they've got lots of students studying them, and there will always be lots of students studying them. If I was to say a few courses, I mean, number one would be an undergraduate or the master's in artificial intelligence. I still think there's only a number of UK universities, maybe 10 or 15 of us, that have got courses in this area now. And I think if you're looking to get ahead of the curve, and you'd normally be looking at computing or an engineering degree, give a lot of thought to artificial intelligence, because we know it's the major industry of tomorrow. And I bet 5 years from now, every university in the UK will be offering artificial intelligence. Everyone will be offering it, 100%. I remember like 3-4 years ago when there was only like 1 or 2. Now there's like 15 or 20 of us. If you're looking to get ahead, that's the course, because we know that's going to translate into massive employability prospects. Like if I was 18, I did a journalism degree, for example. Like, you know, if I was going back now, I probably wouldn't do that. I'd probably be looking at something like artificial intelligence because of the employability prospects. If you're a master's student, I did mention it briefly, but data science, that's another one that goes under the radar. I know a lot of I actually worked at an organization years ago where we had 2 or 3 people in the office working part-time, and they were data science students at Cardiff University. And I saw how huge their employability prospects were post-graduating, because there's so many jobs now, I know in the UK, but probably across the world as well, in how to manage big data, how to manage insights for organizations, and they're very, very well paid jobs. So data science, I know, is again similar to artificial intelligence to a certain degree, but that's one that is often overlooked when students want to do maybe a master's in mathematics or a master's in engineering. Give some thought to data science, because the prospects are quite incredible, really.
Definitely. Information technology, that's the route that we're all going in. And I suppose that's kind of the already existing deficit of skilled workers is in those fields. Okay, great. Thank you, Joe. I really enjoyed this webinar. Students who are joining in today and future students, I hope that you enjoyed this webinar too. And if you have any other questions or anything that you want to know about USW, about the application process, please don't be shy, get in touch with us. You can find all of our details online. Here you can see them on the screen as well. If you do have any questions, get in touch with Global Education. Joe will be happy to answer any questions about USW and would be thrilled to help you with your application. We want to send you to USW. So please do give us a call, pop us an email. Otherwise, thank you for joining us, Joe. Thank you so much for joining us and for such a great presentation. Wales might be my next destination for a holiday. Those images at the end blew my mind.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much for organizing the session. As I mentioned at the beginning, Global are a great organization. And I think if you didn't get it already from what's been mentioned today, they will hold your hand through the process super easily, ensuring your application gets chased up, you get your offer, but also the visa process. That's the big one. That's where we're seeing students. Every single year, I get students from South Africa and Zimbabwe who get refused. 99 times out of 100, they've applied by themselves or they've worked with an agent that's not high quality. It's always one of those two. And with Global, we've never, ever, ever had any problems. Whenever we have CASs go out to Global to make the visa applications, it's super, super smooth. And that's testament to what a great organization they are and how well organized the virtual fairs are here is kind of testament to that high standard. And you'll always feel welcome to Wales, whether you come for work or holidays, you're always welcome in Wales.
Thank you, and thank you for such kind words. Hopefully we'll see you at our physical expos in the future and coming forward. We'd be happy to do this in in person with students directly.
100%. I think later this year I will be out. It'll probably be near the end of this year, but I will be out again soon, and it'd be good to see you and the team. Spend some time with the team.
Yes, and meet some of the students who would have watched this webinar.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thanks so much for today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Joe. You've been great. We'll be in touch.
Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.